We need to recap 10/27/2025. We ain't doing nothing crazy today. I'm a little sick, so my voice is like torched, but I think we made like 600 today. Um, not using being sick as an excuse because I didn't really start feeling sick until after the actual trade, but no, so we left all this up here for this video. So first time around, we got in on a sell down here. Now realistically, I I'm trading in between classes, so this was during my government class, and I literally put this trade in right after I presented. But I would have wanted to get in here because kind of the thought process here is that we 120% extended from this move. Um, we filled this deep liquidity here. So that's like high time frame liquidity. That's like liquidity from this move up to all the way down there. So we have that. So basically, we just have a lot of reason to go into a downtrend, whether that's just a retrace or an actual established trend. So we're liking that. So we got in medium time for all this was bullish, but it's all in context. It's like daily bias takes rule over actual trend, I guess, if that makes sense. Like if you have enough, that's how you get big trades. You predict reversals. But no. So we got in on that. This is actually a pretty good time trade. I think, when was this at? So we got in a little later than we would have wanted to. We got in on this candle, and then we sold half of our position like right here. And that was because we filled the order block, and then we were at we filled both these 38%, so we just got rid of half of our position before we went to our next class in case it reversed. And then our stop loss, we put it a little bit in profit, that got ticked. And then we went up here, and we really wanted to get out of that, regardless of the class change, because we were thinking if we go up any higher than this point, like if we get a micro BOS, we're most likely we're either gonna retrace to this order block and then go back down so we can get a better entry and we can buy more lots, so then we're profiting more money off of our trade, or we're just gonna completely shoot through this high and continue the uptrend. So either way is kind of a bad scenario if we don't close out. So that was a big reason for closing. And then what was our next trade? Yeah, so we made like 200 off that. Then the rest of our partial close we made like 50, 100 on. And then we realistically, like I said, this order block, I think I was busy, or shit, no, way wrong move. So yeah, just kind of like I said, we got in on this move at the top of this. We basically just got in as soon as we broke structure once again. And then after we broke this low right here, we got in to see how far low we'd go, because the real thought process behind this was our stop loss is right there. We were thinking we'd at least get a retrace into like this zone, which that's like a $1,500 trade to $2,000 right there. And then we actually had strong confluence, like you can see we did. I was thinking a little bit ahead of time, but I was thinking we'd definitely go into a downtrend, which we did. So then we could have probably taken one take profit here, probably close like half our position to guarantee some profits. That's like a band right there. Then we'd probably close a quarter of our position here, which would be like another band. And then 120% extension, probably somewhere down here, we would have closed the other quarter, so we would have finished the day like 5K. But unfortunately, market was volatile and involatile at bad times for my class schedule for school, and it's kind of hard to trade in school. But winter break and spring break, we're coming different because we're going to be on the markets all fucking morning, go to the gym or go down to my home gym, fucking hit a lift, then just record. I'm gonna have to commit to this if I say this shit. Fuck. We're gonna be going for 5 to 10 videos pumped out a day over spring winter break. I don't know about spring break. I think I'm going on vacation for spring break, but winter break, y'all will be eating up. But no, I mean, if you watched all the other videos, this will kind of just give you another example for how to use the strategy. Um, I want to give a little bit more because it's only 5 minutes, so I guess I'll go a little bit more. We were basically for the day, we kind of looked back at this shit, and we were thinking like, we were basically just thinking like uptrend from this point, and we went lower, and then we went up to here. We took this high, so we were thinking uptrend, probably a deeper retrace, and then once we went deeper into this liquidity, that's when we started thinking downtrend and got that. But you can kind of see, like, higher time frame was made bullish by this high, and then medium time frame. If we're going directly off of this high time frame, it's just bullish because boom, boom, boom. Using these for regards. You can also see how we're kind of getting double highs every time before we go down low, which is something to think about because like even here we got another double high. So remainder of the week probably going to be a valid strategy. So we have that shit. Oh, that was spicy. Wow. Anyways. Wow. Anyways. So then medium time frame, we're thinking bearish. But then when I was on the charts, this took this back bullish. And we would have went with honestly, the only reason why we didn't immediately trade off of this BOS here is because we already took out a minor form of this liquidity. So we weren't really sure just how high it would go. Otherwise, we would have gotten in on that move too. But we had that. And then small time frame, bullish. And then the rest of the day went bearish. So our predictions were right. And even though we were a little early, we still made like half a band, which I'm not going to be some self-righteous prick. Like, I'm happy. Could it have went better? Yes. Do I wish it would have went a little better? Yeah. So like going off tomorrow, I don't like to pre-plan too much because I trade a lot better when I'm kind of in the here and now and only marking out like crazy important positions. But tomorrow we're thinking we already took out all this downside liquidity, which if we didn't right now, we most likely would have taken it out overnight anyways. I don't. Y'all can keep this shit up. I mean, I'm putting you see the pip numbers. I'm putting y'all on the free game. You can very well mark the same shit that I mark out on my chart. But we're honestly probably gonna just get rid of this long-term liquidity too, because I don't see us moving up any higher since we already took out that shit. Maybe like we'll go up to this. I probably low-key I should have specified this. The big ass boxes kind of help because you can see, but now that I have those gone, I definitely want to label that. So we're realistically thinking, if anything, for Asia session, I don't want to trade Asia session. Plus, I want to get sleep because you can't really trade too good without sleep. But realistically, we're probably thinking 79, 62% retracement upwards, and then we'll probably just continue this downtrend. So my exact thoughts are, get my little paint tool out. Okay, so where the hell is that? Well, that's gone. Here it is. So my exact thoughts are just kind of how we are right now, a very small pullback here. Then I'm thinking, obviously, liquidity and smaller fib retracements are going to play into this, but then we'll probably get a larger pullback. and then we'll probably go straight, absorb this 62, go somewhere into here. Maybe we'll probably consolidate for a little bit, and then we're thinking that we'll, assuming that that's where price stalls out fully, we'll probably just go down, maybe an ever so slight reaction at that point, probably a larger reaction at that point. And then if the bears are, obviously a chart isn't going to go back this way. I just have a very unstable hand. I was at the gym today for a little too long, but no. So we'll probably, as long as the bulls don't step in, it'll make sense for us to kind of just, obviously there's going to be more like highs and lows and shit like that, but it makes sense for price to kind of go back to here. Once again, we'll retrace to like 79%, and then we'll probably go down, take out this high time frame low, confirm that we're on a high time frame downtrend, and then pretty much every single bias of ours will be like downtrend. That's about it. Time to go do the next trading strategy video.